You can turn back now or learn the stuff they don't want you to know. Hello, welcome to the show. I'm Ben.
And I'm Matt.
And this is the stuff they don't want you to know.
So let's cut to the chase. Depending on where you grew up, you probably learned a couple of things in history class that maybe aren't exactly true.
Yeah, like the whole thing about Columbus discovering America or learning that the world was round. He didn't do either of those. That's pretty common knowledge now, but for decades, children in the United States believed this because, of course, that's what their teachers told them. And their teachers weren't, trying to fool them or anything.
No. They believed it just as much as the children. It's a myth that dates back as long as 1792, basically the first recorded Columbus Day.
Yeah, and that's not the only thing our history books got wrong. This week, Matt and I are looking at alternative history theories, from the plausible to the really far out stuff. And along the way, we found something very interesting. The past is not immutable. It appears to change over time.
So some of this change occurs when experts find new evidence or new sources that disprove the earlier assumptions. And also part of it comes when someone decides that they just don't like the existing version of history. And it's not always a malevolent thing. Sometimes we just romanticize the past. Just think in your head about Abraham Lincoln.
Oh yeah, he's a great president.
He's the president responsible for ending slavery, right? But he wasn't exactly some high-principled abolitionist, not always.
Yeah, in fact, he said, and this is a quote, "If I could save the Union without freeing any slave, I would do it. And if I could save it by freeing all of the slaves, I would do it. And if I could save it by freeing some and leaving others alone, I would also do that." Not exactly the ringing cry of freedom that most of us expected to hear, huh, Matt?
And let's not forget that slavery, as a practice at least, continued on well after the Emancipation Proclamation.
Oh, I've got another one. The Pledge of Allegiance, right? In some parts of the United States, it was pretty common for kids to stand and recite a pledge every morning. There's a phrase in there, "under God," and it bothers a lot of parents and students who feel like they shouldn't have to have religion mixed up in their school pledge.
Well, here's the thing. That's not how the pledge always went, right?
Exactly. It was originally written by, get this, a socialist pastor named Francis Bellamy in 1892. Congress adopted it in 1942. That "under God" part wasn't in there. It didn't come along until 1954.
So religion has always been an issue that's at the forefront of culture and politics throughout the U.S., and it's been that way for decades. So politicians a lot of the time in the U.S., they say that the U.S. was founded as a Christian nation, but that's not necessarily true.
Right, yeah, at least not according to the founding fathers, right?
Yeah, that's right. The Treaty of Tripoli, which was signed in 1796, it basically said, the government of the United States of America is not, in any sense, founded on the Christian religion.
It's a quote.
And let's not even get into the weird personal lives and beliefs and even conspiracy theories behind the founding fathers, because there's a lot of them.
Yeah, that's a story for another day. But we're not done with history's cover-ups, mysteries, outright lies, and strange hypotheses yet. Stay tuned for our upcoming video on the riddle of the Sphinx. How old is it exactly, right?
Well, in the meantime, let us know your nominations for the biggest lies that you learned in history, or the cover-ups. We'd love to hear what you think in the comments. Also, you can find us on Facebook. We're Conspiracy Stuff there, and on Twitter, we're at Conspiracy Stuff. And you should go to our website. It's pretty awesome. StuffTheyDon'tWantYouToKnow.com.
Oh, and why not subscribe to our channel? We have new videos coming out every single week on everything from Tesla to government secrets to the paranormal and beyond.
So speaking of those new videos, Ben, what are we covering next week?
Well, no spoilers, but we're going to need some flashlights.